Most video editors don't realize that editing trends actually matter. In 2026, motion graphics in Apple style are the viral cheat code. And learning that style to perfection is almost a guarantee more people will see your work. So if you're serious about your editing career, I'm gonna give you in-depth techniques most people don't talk about. Since Apple just released their new products, we're gonna use it for our practice to create a seamless UI animation. You just need to go through this tutorial once to understand how it actually works. Then you're gonna have the tools to build your own animations from scratch. So turn on the focus mode for the next 15 minutes and let's get straight into it. Once you're in After Effects, create a new comp. Set the resolution to 3840 by 2160 for a crispy 4K. Set the frame rate to 30 and then duration can be set to 10 seconds. Then hit OK. By the way guys, quick interruption, I'm cooking an update for my products and this is the last time you can get the 3-in-1 bundle with all the current assets. Some of them will be gone forever. For example, I'm completely removing version 1 of Motion Essence and it's not only that. But if you get the bundle now, you're gonna get all the assets plus you're ensuring to get the free future update. So make sure to check it out before the timer hits 0 and it's gone. Link in the description. Now back to the show. And now we're gonna go ahead and create a background. So for this I'm gonna go to New, Solid, and you wanna rename it to BG. The color doesn't really matter because we're gonna apply the effect called Fill. And we wanna use that effect because we can easily shift between colors with the help of keyframes. But first you wanna change the color to white, then hit OK. And we're gonna go over to the project panel. So let's go ahead and grab iPhone and we're gonna drop it on the timeline. I'm gonna probably scale it down a bit and place it somewhere here. And then we're gonna proceed to creating the button. So in terms of the button, we're gonna need to create a shape. So for this, I'm gonna go over here to the round rectangle tool and we're just gonna create a shape over here. Then I'm gonna turn off the stroke and in terms of the color, we're gonna change it to something blue. I think this is gonna be good enough. Let's hit OK. Then as you can notice, we got it very sharp on the edges. So we wanna head over to the roundness and we're gonna set it up to 95. Also, we can rename the layer for clarity. This is gonna be our frame. And actually right off the bat we can add the text, so I'm gonna grab the type tool and here you wanna add iPhone 17e. Right, I'm gonna recenter, make sure it's in the middle of our button. Then we wanna change the color to white, then hit OK. And then also I'm gonna uncheck constraint proportions, fix the settings a little bit over here. Maybe something like that should do. And then an important thing we wanna do is parent our text to the button. So for this I'm gonna go over to the parenting link and I'm gonna attach it to the frame. So that way, whenever you move the frame, you're also gonna move the text. So now we're gonna need an animation for our button. So what I'm gonna do is click on this, then go over to around this time. I'm gonna hit Alt-Shift-P in order to create a keyframe for position. Then also I'm gonna hit Alt-Shift-R and also we're gonna need a keyframe for size. Then we can move over to the beginning and we're gonna squeeze it in a little bit, probably play around with rotation and drop it a little bit lower. So that's what you should have. So now what you want to do is head over to the comment section below and grab the expression I left for you. Once you've copied the expression, make sure to hold Alt and click on the stopwatch. That way you're gonna have an expression window over here and I'm gonna paste it by hitting Ctrl V. Then you wanna do the same thing with other properties. So I'm gonna hold Alt, click on this, paste it over here, and we're gonna do it also for rotation. Alright, so that way it's gonna get that bouncy movement. We can definitely speed it up a little bit. And something I really like doing to make it, let's say, more unique is actually changing the timing for the keyframes. So if I place this one over here and that one, let's say here, we're gonna achieve a different look. In my opinion, it's looking a little bit better already. So you can just create stirs like that. Alright, so whenever we got the movement for the button, we also need the movement for the iPhone. So what I'm gonna do is again, copy the expression from here. So we can hit U, open it up, copy, and then I'm gonna go over to the position in our iPhone. Actually, it's here. And I'm gonna alt click the stopwatch. Then let's create a keyframe, move back, and we're just gonna drop it a little bit lower. Alright, I think this is looking already pretty cool, so we're gonna leave it like that. And then at around the time whenever everything's stopping, we're gonna start another movement. So what you want to do over here is again create a keyframe for position. Then I'm gonna hold Shift, click S, we're gonna create a keyframe for scale. And right off the bat we can actually add that expression over here as well. And we're gonna need to turn that button into a bigger frame. So what I'm gonna do is create a keyframe for size. Also for position and rotation, this is gonna be helpful. Then let's go ahead and move forward and we're just gonna start expanding our button. So let's do it like that. Then it's gonna be helpful to open up proportional grid and we're just gonna push it upwards. And then we're gonna need to set up a keyframe for rotation. Let's put it to a negative value. I'm gonna probably put it somewhere in the middle and then I'm gonna go back to 0. Okay, so we're gonna have something like that, which is very intense, so we might wanna spread it out a little bit. I'm also gonna play around with that rotation over here. Just want to find the sweet spot. Alright, I think this is looking good enough. And then we also want to fade out the text. So for this, I'm gonna hit T on the keyboard. I'm gonna create a keyframe, move forward, and let's fade it away by changing it to 0%. Alright, it's not looking bad, I really like it to be honest, but then what I'm gonna do is turn off the proportional grid, and we wanna place iPhone on top of other layers. So now in terms of the iPhone, I'm just gonna add rotation keyframe, then I'm also gonna borrow the expression, let's paste it over here, and then I'm gonna move forward, and we wanna place that iPhone over here on the left hand side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Maybe let's make it bigger. I feel like the frame could be bigger as well. Okay, not bad. Then we're gonna decrease the value for rotation. Then we need to copy that one and paste it over here so it goes back to 0. Alright, so this is really nice, but I feel like these corners over here, they are too sharp. So I'm gonna go over here to the roundness and we're just gonna fix it a bit. Maybe something like that. And now we're missing one component, which is basically making UI animations way better. And I'm talking about color change. So we're gonna set up a keyframe for fill color over here. So let's go ahead and do that. And then at around this time, we're gonna apply a different hex code. You can copy and paste, then hit OK. And that way we're kind of getting into more of a vibe of that iPhone. Right, this is starting to look really, really nice. So now we need to introduce our icons, which I prepared over here. So again, link in the description. So let me just grab these three. I'm gonna drop them on the timeline. And you wanna make sure that the time indicator is at the moment whenever everything stops. This is gonna be helpful later on. So what I'm gonna do is select these three, then definitely I'm gonna scale them down. You kind of wanna keep it minimal because if you put the battery like that, it wouldn't really look that great. But now what you want to do is grab the arrow, we're gonna place it on the right over here. We can put the arrow on top, and then we're gonna take these two, we're gonna place them somewhere in the middle between the arrow and the iPhone. So maybe a bit more towards the left. And then the battery is gonna go lower. We definitely need to adjust it a bit. Then let me just push it upwards, and we're gonna need to create the text. So for this, I'm gonna grab the type tool, and here you wanna type in 6.1 and then quotation mark. So we got the inches. Then I'm gonna place it over here in the similar distance. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good. I'm just gonna make sure the order is right. So you wanna keep it like that. Then I'm gonna probably just scale it down a bit more. Yeah, it looks pretty cool in the full window. And then I'm gonna add the text from Apple page, which is Super Retina XDR display. And you wanna use this color this time. And also in terms of the font, we wanna have something thinner. So here I use regular. And yeah, I think this is gonna be good enough. I'm just gonna change the paragraph and I'm gonna keep it over here. Then we're gonna duplicate the text, drop it below, right below the chip. And what we're gonna do with this is paste the text from Apple, which is 4-core GPU with neural accelerators. We're just gonna change the paragraph. And yeah, this is gonna be good. Then let's copy it one more time, actually duplicate, drop it below the battery. And here we have up to 26 hours of video playback. So it's looking pretty cool. I'm just gonna take these three texts and I'm gonna scale them up because we can barely see what's written there. So now pay attention because we're gonna need to make some order over here. So first are the inches, so we're just gonna drop it right above our iPhone. Then we're gonna take the text, Super Retina, drop it above. Then the next thing is the chip, so we're just gonna drop it here. We're gonna need 4-core GPU with neural accelerators on top of our A19. And as for the last thing, we're gonna take that text and put it right above the battery. So now what you want to do is trim these text to the position of our icons. And then we're gonna use parent and link. So I'm gonna take the text for our inches and we're gonna parent it over here. Then we're gonna do the same with accelerators. And then we're gonna attach this one to the battery. Okay, I think we got it right. Then we're just gonna trim that layer over here. I forgot about it. And we're gonna need to create keyframes for position for the icons. So we're gonna select the inches, A19 and the battery. Then hold Alt-Shift-P, that way the keyframes are gonna pop up. We're gonna move them forward and then we're just gonna drop it lower. So we're gonna have something like that. And also we're gonna need to apply a position keyframe for our arrow. So let's move it over here. Then we're gonna drag X to the middle and we're gonna have something like that. Okay, this is pretty cool, but also we need to use parent and link one more time. So for this, I'm gonna select arrow, battery, A19 and the inches. And we're gonna parent it to our frame. So that way whenever our frame is growing with the bounce expression, it's also gonna be affected. So let's go ahead and select all of that and we're gonna place it over here. Actually, we need to find these keyframes. So I think around this time it's gonna be good. Okay, looks pretty cool. I'm just gonna take these keyframes, I'm gonna expand it a bit. And then what we're gonna do is borrow the expression. So I'm gonna hit U for the frame, I'm gonna open up size, copy the expression, then let's close it down. And I'm gonna go over to our main icons and also the arrow, and I'm gonna hit P. So here, if we alt click the stopwatch, we're gonna be able to paste the expression. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. And that way everything is gonna be nice and bouncy, but we're not done with this. So what we want to do next is offset the timing. So it kind of goes from the top to the bottom. So for this, I'm gonna make sure to select these. I'm gonna push it forward by 2 frames, and then this is gonna be pushed by 4 frames. So this is already looking way better, way more bouncy. And remember guys, we haven't even added motion blur, so it's gonna look way better. So now around the time whenever everything stops, which is probably somewhere here, we're gonna add the keyframe for scale in our arrow. So let's go ahead and do that. Then I'm gonna move forward and I'm gonna scale it down because we kind of want to create a pressing movement. So we pushed it down, so it needs to bounce back. So I'm gonna copy the first keyframe, paste it here, and that way we have that button press. So now whenever this happens, we're gonna need to start another movement. So what I'm gonna do is go over here with the time indicator, then I'm gonna hit U for the frame, and I'm gonna create a keyframe for size. Then essentially we're gonna travel with that iPhone to the right hand side, but at the same time that iPhone is gonna disappear, so we're gonna trim the layer and we're gonna introduce our MacBook. And we low-key wanna have a different window, so we're gonna squeeze in the frame and also we're gonna extend it in the width. So first we're gonna need to set up some keyframes. So here we definitely need a keyframe for rotation, then also the color. Then since this layer has disappeared, I'm just gonna trim it to this position so it doesn't confuse us. And then moving on, we got the iPhone over here, so I'm gonna create a keyframe for position. Then we're gonna take all of the icons over here and also the arrow, and I'm gonna create a keyframe for position. So now if I move over to the right, we're gonna start creating our movement. So something I'll probably start with is the frame, so let's see how it's gonna look. We're just gonna probably squeeze it in Y, then expand it in X. This might be good. We're gonna go back a little bit, and then I'm just gonna adjust rotation to a positive value this time. I probably went overboard. Now let's copy first, paste it over here. So this is gonna be slight rotation, which is cool. And then in terms of the color, we're gonna set it up to white. So we're gonna do it like that. Let's hit OK. And now we also need to set up a keyframe for our fill. That's why we created it in the beginning. So we're gonna go over to the effect controls. And here you wanna set up a keyframe for color. Then let's hit U. And over here, we wanna change the color to kind of white/green. So we're just gonna paste that hex code. This is gonna be in the vibe of MacBook Neo, so let's leave it like that. And then the next step would be pushing that iPhone to the right. So what I'm gonna do is take the position from here, and I'm gonna just push it like that. Okay, so that's what we have. It feels a little bit too slow, simply because we're gonna swap the iPhone. So we need a rapid movement so it's more seamless. So what you wanna do is select all these keyframes, push it back a bit, maybe just adjust the rotation. And yeah, this is gonna be way better. And now at the same time, we need to select these 3 keyframes and we're gonna push our icons to the right, just like that. And together with these icons, we're also gonna need to push our arrow. So I'm gonna do it like that. And now we have a problem because we can still see our icons. So what we're gonna do is select everything, then hit U, and I'm gonna go over to the modes. So here what you wanna do is select all icons and also the text for them, and also the arrow. And we're gonna use the track matte. So I'm gonna parent our track matte to the frame. That way everything disappeared, but also our frame, so we're gonna turn it back on. And now whenever the icons are beyond the frame, they are just gonna disappear. Alright, so everything seems to be good. I'm just gonna take that iPhone over here, and we're just gonna push it a little bit towards the left, like that. And now what you want to do is have the time indicator over here whenever everything stops. And we're gonna grab the MacBook and drop it on the timeline. Then I'm gonna scale it down, and we wanna fit it in the right corner, just like that. And now this is important, we're gonna place it right above iPhone, and then we're gonna use parent and link, and we're gonna parent it to our iPhone. So that way Mac is gonna follow the movement of the iPhone, so we're just gonna need to place it over here. And actually what you need to do, in the middle of these 2 keyframes, is trim our iPhone and start our MacBook. So it's just gonna swap in the middle. It's already looking pretty cool. I just feel like it could be a bit smaller. So it's gonna be very seamless whenever we add motion blur, which is cool. So now we can control our Mac with the iPhone over here, even though it disappeared. So if I go over to this keyframe, I'm actually gonna push it a little bit towards the left. Okay, I think this is gonna be better. So now here we're gonna need to add the text, which is gonna look like that. MacBook Neo 13 inches. And we wanna make sure that it starts around the time whenever we got this split. Alright, so now I definitely need to place it over here. And then I'm gonna hit enter over here and we're gonna add another text which is gonna be A18 and then Pro Chip. Then we're gonna hit enter one more time and we're gonna add new. And now we're gonna need to fix some settings. So I'm gonna take the bottom two lines and I'm gonna decrease the font size. Something like that should do. Maybe that middle text should be a bit bigger. And then in terms of that text, we're gonna select it and we're gonna change the color to this hex code. Then hit OK. And it looks pretty cool, but we also need to add an expression over here. But for this, we're gonna need to create an animator. So I'm gonna go over here to the properties, click on animate, position. In the Y value, type in -50. And also we're gonna need to add one more thing, which is opacity. Where is it? Here. Then I'm gonna change it to 0%, just like that. And then I'm gonna go over to add, selector, and we're gonna pick expression. So now we wanna open up expression selector 1 and we're gonna change it from characters to words. Then I'm gonna open up amount and here we have the expression window. So now if you head over to the comment section again, you're gonna find another expression, which is the second one, and that expression needs to be pasted here. So that way the words are gonna nicely drop, but at the same time we low-key wanna have the movement of the frame. So I'm just gonna close it down and then I'm gonna use parent and link and I'm gonna attach it to the frame. So that way that rotation we used here is gonna be also applied to our text. And then something we could do is actually use our arrow one more time, but this time I'm gonna duplicate it. So let's hit Ctrl D, then I'm gonna hit U. I'm gonna delete everything, but just make sure to leave that expression over here. Then we're gonna recenter, then we're gonna place it over here and we're gonna go over to the rotation and here we wanna set it up to 180. So that way we have a back button and we're gonna probably have it here. Let's just move forward, then I'm gonna create a keyframe for position and then also I'm gonna drag it lower. So we're gonna have something like that, but we need to speed it up a bit. Alright, I think we have a finished animation and now my favorite part, which is adding the motion blur. So I'm gonna go ahead and select it everywhere and now let's let it load. Alright, so here you have the final result. Hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial and I'm gonna wrap it up here because my PC is gonna explode. So yeah, check out the video on the screen and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.